Hello, everybody. Sorry, it has been a while. I do apologize. I've had a lot going on and just a lot of things on my mind, and so I'm trying to get them sorted and figured out. And one of the things that came to me that I'm going to be trying to work on here is I've got several things I've got going through my head to be working on, and I'm going to start with the Feast of the Lord. And they actually start, the first one is mentioned in Genesis chapter 2. So in Genesis chapter 2, I'm going to be flipping through my Bible, so y'all just forgive me for that, because I have a list of scriptures on this particular one. So the particular one going to be talking about today is going to be the Sabbath, and the Sabbath is explained in Genesis chapter 2. And it's going to be verse 2 and 3. If you even go back to verse 1, it's thus the heavens and the earth and all the hosts of them were finished. So God has done his 6 days of creation, and now we are on the 7th day. And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work which he had done. So all his work was his creation, the creation that he had worked on for the past 6 days, or generally speaking, 6 days of work that he had did. So the 7th day, then God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made. So he rested on this day from his creation. He rested from his work that was being done for all this creation. He was his work for creation was completed. Therefore, he was pleased in his work. We know he was pleased in his work. He said he was pleased in his work. He saw that it was good for the most part. So therefore he rested, he blessed it, and he sanctified it. He made it holy. And so this is a day that he rested. And if you go to Leviticus 23, he tells us what we need to do. And it says, and I'll just read the first 3 verses here. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the children of Israel, say to them, the feast of the Lord. This is not the feast of the Jews. This is the feast of the Lord. These are the feasts that God gave to the people for them to come to glorify and honor him. And you can do that every day of the week, no problem. These specifically he wants done. Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, the feast of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Holy convocations. They are gatherings where you gather together with like-minded people, and they are readings. You read from the scriptures. Most of the time when you look at a lot of the Hebrew or Jewish religions, they would read from the Torah, from the first 5 books of the Bible. But he says, the feast of the Lord, which you shall proclaim to be holy convocations, these are my feasts. So he didn't claim them to be the feast of the Israelites or the feast of the Jews. He said, these are my feast. Then he says, 6 days you shall work be done. So 6 days of the week, Sunday through Friday, work shall be done. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of solemn rest, a holy convocation. You shall do no work on it. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. So he wants you to rest in him. It is the day that you come to him. You rest in him. You glorify him. And as a matter of fact, if you look over in Psalms 92, which I'm going to go there real quick, there is a song of the Sabbath, which I found interesting. Forgive me, I don't have these marked. I'm better at flipping through pages for me than trying to mark pages, because I have a bunch of bookmarks throughout my Bible already. It says a song for the Sabbath day. So really pay attention to the words in this chapter. I'm not going to try to go through every scripture because I have quite a list of scriptures. I'm going to go through a few of them though, okay? But I wanted to read this because this is a song for the Sabbath. It says, "It is good to give thanks to the Lord and sing praises to your name, O Most High, to declare your loving kindness in the morning and your faithfulness every night. On an instrument of 10 strings, on the lute, and on the harp with harmonious sound. For you, Lord, have made me glad through your works. I will triumph. Sorry, y'all. I will triumph in the works of your hands, O Yahovah. How great are your works! Your thoughts are very deep. A senseless man does not know, nor does a fool understand this. When the wicked spring up like grass, and when all the workers of iniquity flourish, it is that they may be destroyed forever. But you, Jehovah, are on high forevermore. For behold, your enemies, O Jehovah, for behold, your enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn you have exalted like a wild ox. I have been anointed with your fresh oil. My eyes also have seen my desire on my enemies. My ears hear my desire on the wicked who rise up against me. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those who are planted in the house of Jehovah shall flourish in the courts of our Elohim. They shall still bear fruit in the old age, and they shall be fresh and flourishing, to declare that Yahovah is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him." This is a song of the Sabbath for the Sabbath day. I mean, they are worshiping him. That is what we are to do. Sabbath day, we are to worship him. We are glorifying him. We are honoring him. One of the things that, I have struggled with is, how do I bless? How do I glorify? How do I honor God? And one of those things, I'm getting off topic, but real quick, is to give him, you did not do, but you did through him. He gave you the means to do this. He gave you the strength. He gave you the knowledge, the wisdom to do what is being done. You give him the glory. Don't take credit for it. Give him the credit. He takes the credit. That is what it is giving him credit for what's being done. Because without him, you could not have done it. Anyways, so I'm going to go back to Exodus, because there's several places in Exodus. Let me read here for 1 second. I'm not going to read that. But in Exodus 20, y'all know this one. Part of the 10 Commandments that were given to Moses. He says, in verse 8, it says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, nor your sons, nor your daughters, nor your male, nor your female servants, nor your cattle, nor the stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days Jehovah made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore Jehovah blessed the seventh day and hallowed it." He blessed it. He sanctified it. He made it holy. And if it is holy, we are to give it respect. Just like we are to respect our Elohim, our God, we are to respect the feast that he places before us, the Sabbath that he places before us. And some of the other feasts will be called Sabbaths also, because they are a day of rest. And you can read through those and tell, if you look into some of the words that's giving for rest, there's different definitions and different words used. And you can understand that wording of what it's meaning when it says to rest. Then I'm going to go over here to Nehemiah, Nehemiah. Give me a second to find it. Because I like going through my Bible and finding my stuff because I don't want to lose it. I want to know where everything is. I'm used to doing that. It's easy for me. 13. Alright, so Nehemiah 13, and we're going to verse 16 through 19. And it says, Men of Tyre dwelt there also, who brought in fish and all kinds of good, and sold them on the Sabbath to the children of Judah and in Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah, and said to them, What evil thing is this that you do, by which you profane the Sabbath day? Did not your fathers do this, and did not our God bring all the disaster on us and on the city? Yet you bring added wrath on Israel by profaning the Sabbath. You are not allowed, it was not allowed to sell and trade on the Sabbath day. I do my best not to. There are times we do, just because we might need gas if we're going, when we're going to service or whatever it might be. I think there is leniency, because even as long as you're doing it for the good and not just doing it for a profit. You're not doing it for your good. If you're doing it for the good of God, for giving God glory in what you do, there's a difference, I think. I believe. That's my opinion from what I see through here. But so we have to be careful with what we do. Because like it says in verse 18, it says, Did not your fathers do this, and did not our God bring all the disaster on us and on the city? Yet you bring added wrath on Israel by profaning the Sabbath. And then verse 19, So it was at the gates of Jerusalem, as it began to be dark before the Sabbath, that I commanded the gates to be shut, and charged that they must not be opened till after the Sabbath. Then I posted some of my servants at the gate, so that no burden would be brought in on the Sabbath day. So, you can look at burdens, the word burden, many different ways. You can look at it as an actual burden, like you have something that's just weighing down on you, and things like that. Because even if you look back, I can't remember exactly where it's at, but it says if you go to bring your sacrifice to the altar, and your brother, you realize or remember that your brother has something against you, you must leave your sacrifice there. Go make it right with your brother, then you can come back. That to me is a burden as well. We have to watch what we do. If we know we have a burden, and something that is against us from somebody else, we must clear that, I believe. From what I see, I need to quit saying I believe, but from what I'm seeing in the Bible, that must be cleared to come before God to give sacrifice. I'm not saying you can't give God glory and honor throughout the day, even if somebody has something against you. I'm saying, when you go before God, you must clear all those things, asking forgiveness for the things that we've done, asking, revealing to you, if there's something that somebody holds against you, so that you may go before them to work it out, to straighten it. And if it can't be worked out, then you put it before God. Here, God, I tried. It didn't get cleared. I'm giving it to you. Do what you will. If there's something else you need me to do, let me know so I can do that. And I think then you would be clear to go and do whatever needed to be done. Over in Isaiah 56, I'm going to 56 and then 58. I went too far. Sorry, I'm not good at turning pages always. And then verse 2, it says, Blessed is the man who does this. Let me go back. I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, Thus says the Lord, keep justice and do righteousness, for my salvation is about to come, and my righteousness will be revealed. Blessed is the man who does this, and the Son of Man who lays hold on it, who keeps from defiling the Sabbath and keeps his hands from doing evil. And then verses 6 and 7, it says, Also the sons of the foreigner who join themselves to the Lord to serve him and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone who keeps from defiling the Sabbath and holds fast my covenant, even them I will bring to my holy mountain and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices will be accepted on my altar, for my house shall be called a house of prayer for all nations. So, this is not just the children of Israel. This is including the foreigner. So, those who come into the knowledge of God, who are accepting and want to be part of Him, who join themselves to